let's talk about Saudi league move. If anybody has been living under a rock, like Saudis are throwing money at everything. The greatest, probably the best contract we've seen. I know Cristiano went there earlier last season, halfway,
All right.
then followed by Benzema now, who's current Ballon d'Or winner, then Golo Kante. Then we're hearing, I don't know if it's finalized. I know I heard rumors about
His medical fell through. They
Zaha.
Yeah.
had some
No,
issues.
no, no,
Yeah, they had
no.
some issues in his medical.
Kante is
Yeah,
medical.
Kante.
Yeah,
They had
they're still
issues in,
working.
but
They're still
they
working
are
on
still
that.
working on it though. But there's some
Zaha,
glitches in his medical.
right? Zaha is still a rumor right now. It's not a rumor, but it's some there's some progress there. I
Some
think.
person there.
Or
The one that
yeah.
broke today was Neymar. They said they want to go and get Neymar. I saw that today. Um, since they couldn't get Messi, of course. So I guess I gave all this context to say, and I'll start with Beni. Like all the Saudi league move, what is the end goal for Saudi with football? Like what are your thoughts?
Okay. Personally, I think seeing the success with Qatar
Okay.
in a way kind of sparked up some kind of crazy jealousy right there in that entire region. Like, okay, these guys have gone and showed the world, like, that they can actually host a tournament. Because it was always the thing about, oh, is it cultural? There's no culture of football here. There's no history of football here. The weather is this, the weather is that. There's so many different narratives from the West back then of why it wouldn't go to the Middle East. And then Qatar just shut out everything. Like, okay, if we got to change the time, let's change the time. We'll make everything work. And I think even before it, leading up to the tournament, there's a lot of animosity right there. Neighboring countries, embargoes, like, yo, we're not going to let you ship anything to Qatar. There was a lot of beef going on there. But now I do think Saudi are trying to, like, maybe it's just MBS, just trying to do a lot of this, like, enter sports just in general. And now it's like a state's whole idea, like 20 billion to into sports. And we've seen it with the live golf. Now we're seeing it
Yeah,
with football.
Yep.
yeah.
They're trying to acquire teams. They tried to acquire Chelsea. Well, I'm kind of mad they didn't get to acquire. They got Newcastle. Now they're bidding for Manchester United. So there's this concerted effort about going into football completely. And whether it's good or bad, I don't know. There's going to be a lot of money into it. It's going to inflate the market a lot, and it's just going to drive the gap between, like, the big teams or the Saudi-owned teams and non-Saudi-owned teams or non-oil money-owned teams. But then again, there's always been a gap. There's always been a gap in history for the big teams and the small teams. And if anything, it'll probably even the playing field out a little more now
Okay.
with, like, the traditional big teams and, like, just new money big teams. So I I'm kind of torn as to how to feel about it because change is something that's not, like, easily accepted. And this just seems to be a new flurry. And will it last? Will it just, turn out to be one of these Chinese league, whatever? I think it lasts a little longer here because there's a more concerted effort here. There's a smarter, or it seems like there's a plan right now.
Yemi, what are your thoughts about this?
I mean, like the last comment that guy said was exactly what I was thinking of. But also, Saudi is looking into basketball. As crazy as that is, yeah, they're looking into basketball. They have their eyes now on the NBA, where like the NBA is looking at playing some games in the nearest time in like Qatar and Saudi. And then we have to look at it this way: jealousy and competition.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Jealousy and competition. Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia. The jealousy in all these people is immense. What one can do, one wants to top it. Mostly Qatar and Saudi Arabia. Qatar just showed and just pretty much almost slaps this in Saudi's face. Like, man, you guys have been shouting the best in this region, but we came here and hosted the best World Cup so far ever. We just did it and we did it immaculately well
Yeah.
with none of your help. So now Saudi Arabia is looking at that like, man, we are now almost becoming an afterthought. So we need to start making our mark now and say, if Qatar can do it, we too can do it better. And I was in a group where someone said that this in Saudi does not have enough money, man, to sustain this for another 10 to this in 20 years. China has done this before. Another country has done this before. And I looked at the guy, I said, Saudi has enough money, and I don't think we're going to see the end of it. I think this is just going to grow. But my only stress now is with UEFA. What will UEFA do? What all I know UEFA has no control. over whatever Saudi does. But my fear is with the way they're throwing money at things now, if it inflates the market, those small clubs now have no say in buying. They will just have to go deep and go and work on their recruiting. If you're a mid-level club that you don't have enough money, if your recruiting is not good, you will suck because you don't have any shot at buying most of these players. And it's looking
Can't
like
compete.
most you can't compete. But and then the thing also we have to look at this is if you're a top player now, you mentioned this Mohammed, this guy, Salah. The guy's won everything in football. There's nothing else to win. He's won
Mm,
everything.
okay, yeah.
So yeah, you have to. If I'm this guy or Pogba now, I read somewhere that this in the Pogba too might be looking at going to Saudi. He has offers from Miami.
I guess for me, my thoughts about it is when I ask what the end goal is, what you said about China, right? China did this, before it did not last. And it
Hmm.
almost feels like, yes, it almost feels like they're throwing money at the problem. They're just throwing money at it as much as they can. See, hoping
Okay.
that it feels like that's a strategy, hoping something sticks ahead of 2030, you know, and they want to get all the major stars and like improve the league and the image.
Hmm.
And I am not sure if that's a sustainable model to like grow tourism and image just for that, right? I'm not sure. I'm not saying I'm 100% that it's going to fail. I'm just trying to look at the sustainability of the whole. It feels like they're putting the is it the egg for the chicken, like the cat for the horse. That's how it feels like.
All right.
Can I say something though?
All the
Can
infrastructure. I
I?
know they have good stadium. I've seen like
Hmm.
play whatever, but like all the infrastructure in place that they put on of how they want to like make it sustainable, how to grow it, rather than it looks like, oh, let's just get all the stars first. We'll figure it out later. UCL team of the season. This one was hard to put by. I was talking to Benny earlier. A lot of football has happened this season, right? A lot of football because we have to remember that there was the first because this is for the whole season. There was first group stages, then there was
Mm-hmm.
World Cup. I have lost so much memory of the group stages that I had
Group
to go back
stages,
and
yeah.
look at some quick highlights, remember some things. Like, okay. So it was hard to put by, but we'll start with Benny. Benny, tell us your
Eh,
UCL team.
are we starting by section, or do you just want to go full team?
Let's do full team. I think it's probably better that way.
All right, full team. I was torn between Courtois and Onana. Really,
Yeah.
I think I'm actually gonna lean more on Onana here because um, now we talked about the clutch part of things, and honestly, City dominates my team of the list. As much as it pains me to say it, as much as it hurts my soul to say it, City dominates my team of the list, my team of the season,
Yeah.
because we were quite consistent overall.
Yeah.
Um, Inter was actually quite good. Like they're good in this season, actually, really good. It struck me how they shut out AC like both times, even though they had conceded so much against, not so much, like 3 goals against Benfica or whatever. I thought it'd be an open game with AC Milan, but no, shut them out. They played a terrific game. So I'm gonna go with Onana here. So my back line, I'm gonna go with the back four. Uh, well, back four, but not necessarily in position or whatever. I've just got four defenders there. So I'm gonna go Diaz, who's been a rock.
Yeah.
Stones, who this season has entered one kind of different heights. Now, granted, he plays in the middle now because of that Pep's mid-season switch, which I thought was genius. In a
Yeah.
way, it goes from like has a 3-2-4-1.
Yeah.
Like what kind of madness is this? But it's worked so far.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's
but I'm
that.
gonna put Stones there in centre back. And Acerbi from Inter. No, not Bastoni. It was between Acerbi and Bastoni for me, but I lean more with Acerbi just over the course of the season. Um, now the last one, I was between Kamavinga, and Ake. I know Kama is really a midfielder, but having him deployed in that left back role for Madrid has been crazy. Ake has also been solid this year. It makes me get mad at Chelsea even more that they sold him. But then again, that's the tale of Chelsea's transfer dealings: selling people that you shouldn't sell and buying people you shouldn't buy.
Yeah. Yeah.
DM is Rodri.
Okay.
My two eights are Valverde and Gundogan.
Okay.
Okay.
On the right, this will throw people off. I pick Barella. Barella on the right. Yep.
This guy is creating position.
Vinicius Junior on the left and
Okay.
Haaland striker. That's my team. I'm
Okay.
And Pep is,
The manager,
he's the GOAT
the goat.
of his generation, by the way. But
I beg you, Shenanigans good. Shenanigans good.
Okay, I'll say mine. I'll run through mine. Wait, let's actually take comments. I think I said Traversy, folks sleep on Pep Genius from Henry. Um, Coach Yemi even got Onana's hairstyle.
Nah, this isn't Onana. That's
somebody actually
Onana.
told me
His own
that
essay
today.
is
Somebody told me
Onana.
that this morning. This morning, somebody said, "Why are you looking like Onana?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
looking
somebody
like
told me that this morning.
that's
Come on, man. Let me.
Your own is not Onana. It's just Onana.
my guy,
Onana.
my guy. I don't know what I do you from yesterday.
Man,
You get.
yesterday, man, you're coming for me. I have to attack
yeah,
you.
we came for each other. Yeah, that was it.
That
So that's
was
next
That
time.
was true.
that was that said that to you. Yeah, right.
And Dada must always take shades at me. I don't know why. I love that guy. And then kudos to him for yesterday. Sha. He did a really great job.
Yeah. Shout out to Dada for always hosting the best. He says I'm
Shout out
watching
to that.
for hosting the best watch parties ever.
Yeah,
Henry,
he does, man,
yeah,
without
we have
question.
to acknowledge that he had unlimited resources, but that doesn't take away that he's great. Managing egos ain't easy. That is very true, 100%.
Very, very true.
My team of the season, Courtois. It was tough between Courtois and Onana. The reason I went with Courtois is I don't think Real Madrid go through Liverpool, that Liverpool tie without Courtois, and that Man City, both ties, especially that second leg, would have been a basketball scoreline. If
It
not,
would have.
wow.
It would have.
My back four, I put in Walker. I know he didn't really play too much like that. He started playing, especially in group stages. But from the knockout stages, the way he kept Vinicius quiet, my goodness. Yeah.
Right.
No post cannot do that too. So I'll put Walker there. My center backs, Bastoni was incredible all through for Inter.
Yep, true.
I had
Very
to
true.
put Stones there because I'm looking at it out of possession, right? I know
All right.
Stones in possession, he invert midfield, but out of possession, he plays as a center back pretty much. So my left back, DeMarco. My midfield is Chief Rodri. I mean, the guy's, I think, is the best DM in the league, best DM in Europe, in my opinion. Then KDB, and we have to give everybody's forgetting about Anguissa. Anguissa was incredible. Up until that quarterfinal, he was incredible throughout their run. He was. I'll put that. Anguissa has to go. That's the only person I can put in there. Front three, Bernardo Silva. I mean, I think that man is top 3, top 4 most complete midfielders. He can do everything. Striker, of course, is Haaland. Then on the left is Vinicius. Vini is on a different planet now. Best,
he's a problem.
Best left winger in the world. He's incredible.